Hey everyone, welcome back to the Quarantine Zone. This is number 5. I didn't know if I would make it to number 5. I'm just doing it kind of one at a time. And sorry for being 5 minutes late. This is quite uncharacteristic for me. Yeah, Facebook is kind of changing between an old layout and a new layout. And when I test it, it's in one layout. And then when I go to do the stream, it appears to be in another. Anyway, yes, I'm very excited today about my super special guest, Louise Dodds. And I'm actually going to break tradition in that we're going to have a little bit of interviewee chat and then a piece, you know, the music video, and then we're going to have a chat at the end. Louise and I had a really interesting conversation, and there's a lot to tell you about, so that's what we're going to do. And yeah, so there's just going to be one video today. Louise and I are working on something else for the future, which you'll hear about, but we're going to break tradition in that way. I am very excited about some other things that I'm working on, and this is going to kind of buy me time. There's a lot of work to get 2 videos done with all the mixing, mastering, and blah, blah, blah. But I am working on videos with Gene Lake. You're probably gathering by now how much I love drummers. Gene is an unbelievable drummer. He lives in Brooklyn, New York. And yeah, he's known for his work with Steve Coleman, as well as D'Angelo and Michelle and Deggiocello and Maxwell even. So I'm really excited about that. Also closer to home, there's Mr. Robert Mitchell, amazing pianist. And I think he's living in London. I'm pretty sure he is, although we talked for a while, but we didn't talk about that. Anyway, last week you met Adam Kovacs, the amazing percussionist. And but he didn't get a feature. He joined Jason Rebello and I in the second piece of the stream, Nigerian Marketplace, one of my old favorites by Oscar Peterson. So I thought it would be nice to give Adam a bit more of a feature in this one today. But do go back and listen to that piece, because Jason is playing some completely insane stuff. It's about maybe 25 minutes through the last stream. And when I was putting the track together, I was like called some pianist friends of mine to say, look, check this out, check what Jason played. So yeah, I think you'll like it. It's about 25 minutes in. Okay, other news. Yeah, everything's going well in album land. Tomorrow morning it will have been out 2 weeks. The Sleep Awakes. Thank you so much for everyone who's bought it, streamed it, tweeted about it, and so on. In particular to the reviewers, and we've got quite lucky with playlists. We've had some playlisting on Spotify and like 4 playlists on Apple Music, which is great. So thanks to the powers that be. I also, before I hand over to Louise and I got a really amazing video from a fan who's learned an entire solo of mine and played it. Check this out. Anyway, he goes through the whole solo, so I was blown away by that. So thank you, Ted, for this boost. Really appreciate it. All right, without further ado, let's meet the amazing jazz vocalist, Louise Dodds. Yeah, how was the haircut?
3 hours.
What were they doing?
You know, I was sitting there and I was thinking, because normally I enjoy it, and then I was thinking, this is 3 hours of my life. Like, what am I doing? But then it was okay.
Yeah, it is quite a long time. What did they do? Did they like cut each hair individually or something, or what?
Really? Yeah.
I mean, it looks nice, but like 3 hours, seriously.
It's mostly color. Like, men just don't understand this, and it's a giant amount of money.
Hey, so what was the occasion? Why yesterday?
Because that was the first time I could get a hair appointment since February.
How are you staying sane during lockdown?
Well, I'm in Edinburgh, so I've been going up Arthur's Seat. I got into a really good routine of going up there at 7 o'clock every morning, but that got boring after about 2 months. But just lots and lots of walking.
Great.
Lots of this kind of Zoom chats with people.
Did you go up Arthur's Seat? You said for 2 months, so you went up like nearly like 60 times.
I mean, I still go up nearly every day, but it was just the getting up at 7 and doing that. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Wow.
But not so much. Thanks. Yeah, but just walking. Edinburgh's one of the best cities for that anyway, so It's good.
Yeah.
And I kind of, walking is when I sort of do all my thinking and sort of processing thoughts, but also like working on songs and creating and writing things as well. So walking's my thing.
There's a Meshuggah song. Do you know that band, Louise? If I talk to you about like Swedish heavy metal band, and they've got this one song which is 21 minutes long, or 21 minutes 20 seconds or something. So like once a month I just get the urge and try and like run 5K in that time. And last time I succeeded, but the time before that I didn't, because that's quite, well, it's not that fast, but for me that's very fast.
Quite fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about your own limits, right? It's not really measured by any other yardstick other than how hard it is for you with these things. But are you doing much creating at the moment in that way, in the writing songs?
Yeah, well, I was meant to be recording my album in April, which I'd written. It's all original stuff. That was going to be my first album in 7 years. So obviously that got postponed.
So you had like 7 years of like build up, and you're like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And then, nope, COVID, basically.
Unbelievable. Like just getting it postponed because there's a global virus. So you can't really predict that. So now we're doing it end of September, hopefully. And so there's actually going to be a couple of songs on it that wouldn't have been on it if we'd done it in April, because I've written them during lockdown. So that's been good.
Is it called like, are they called like, I'm so bored?
Yeah, the end is nigh.
How can you put, yeah, exactly. Yeah. How can you possibly have the inspiration during lockdown to write?
Sometimes you'll just feel like there's a song that you need to write and it will just come out. It's the songs that write themselves. It all seems to come together. The whole thing, the chords and the melody and the lyrics, they all just sort of appear from nowhere.
Yeah. Sometimes they're the best ones as well. The ones that are a real struggle, like just, it's always, yeah.
Because there's like two schools of thought. It's like the ones that are just happen naturally and are quite easy are maybe the best ones, and the ones that need work you should just leave. But then there's a lot of people that feel like you should finish every song, and just that actual process itself helps to keep the momentum going, and you don't know what it might turn into. I don't know. I kind of always subscribe to the first one, where if it's just not happening, I just leave it and I don't finish it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I look forward to hearing it. I really enjoyed the one that I have heard. What was the name of that one that we were talking about?
Lean Into the Fall.
Okay.
That was the last one I wrote recently in about 5 minutes.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good one. That's good. I really
like
like
an
that.
existential crisis.
Yeah.
Just about like trusting life and just leaning into it.
Yeah, awesome. Tell me about 26-2. This is about a mutual, well, let's leave the identity as vague as possible for their own good, but someone who was well known in the Edinburgh scene.
Yeah.
So there was a human. We won't say the gender. Maybe I already have said it, but anyway, there was a person. Oh, it's
in the lyrics it says the gender. So
you might have switched that though.
Might have.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just going to call him he. So he. I don't even know if he will remember. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
People remember this, that it's about him. But basically, this was kind of when I just was starting out singing jazz, and I was going to like jam sessions and stuff. And I had a chat with him, and he was basically saying that all singers, basically jazz singers, are the bane of his life, and they're all rubbish, and he just wishes they didn't exist, basically. And then and I was like, okay, that's nice. And then he was like, I bet you couldn't sing 26-2. And I was like, fine. And then so I went home and I learned it and I wrote lyrics about him, and then I took it to the jam session next week, and I played it with him and sang it.
So he had to play this song that you've written, basically insulting him. Yeah,
they're a bit derogatory, but I'm sure he probably enjoyed it.
It's definitely not mean-spirited at all. I mean, this person like there was an element of sort of prodigious talent that this person had, which made them very cocky. And I think it was necessary for someone to just sort of put them in their place. So
yeah. So it wasn't like a sort of behind his back thing. I was like, here you go, here's the song and it's about you. And a lot of the things in it are things that he'd said to me as well. So there's little bits here and there of things he'd said.
I mean, I remember being quite impressed when I heard that you'd written lyrics to 26-2, because I love Coltrane tunes. And I'm not aware that many vocalists have put, have sung them or put lyrics to them. So yeah, so I was always kind of impressed by that. So I'm really pleased that we get to bring this video to the world. And yeah, when
the first time I played that to you was in Syria.
Really? Yeah. Wow. Oh man. Yeah. So for anyone watching, Louise and I met in a kind of like corporate band. We went to some faraway places, and yeah, very fortunately got to go to Syria twice, right? I went twice. You went
twice. I didn't the second one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was amazing to explore Damascus, you know, back in the day. So yeah, we'll be shortly bringing this tune, or rather music video, to the world. And it also features Adam Kovac, who yeah, whenever I need like any percussion, pretty much I always go to Adam, because he's amazing, a congolero. And when I was thinking about how we could do this tune, I kind of had that Jaco Pastorius Donna Lee in mind, where it's just congas and bass, to really just emphasize the line, just have the line and percussion at times. So yeah, so that's what's going on.
Upstar says, don't get paid enough apparently to play along with singers, guess that includes me. There was a time when we all knew him for his playing, that little bunket how he didn't press us on. Now we know him for his goal, the fact that he is still alive and kicking baffles us all. You can never tell, there's never any warning as to who his next victim will be. Thinks he's 26, I think 2 is closer. Has also noted that he has enough of ladies. I know he likes to call himself a weekend guy, but one thing is for sure, he'll never be demure. Maybe there's still a chance to mature. me. There was a time when we all knew him for his playing. That little blanket out we didn't press, that's all. Now we know him for his goal. The fact that he is still alive and kicking baffles us all. You can never tell, there's never any warning as to who his next perfect victim will be. Thanks, he's 26, I think too, is closer. It's just so loaded that he has enough for ladies. I know he likes to call himself a weak drinker, I guess, 'cause he presumes to be a fantasy for all. I guess, 'cause he presumes to be a fantasy for all. I guess, 'cause he presumes to be a fantasy for all.
So you said you're going to be recording an album, and it's the
Yes.
first one in 7 years. And if I remember rightly, you have a pretty serious band with you. Will you tell us who they are and
Yeah.
maybe how you met? If there's any interesting stories, or tell me about the record anyway.
Okay. So I've got piano Steve Hamilton, double bass Andy Robb, drums Alan Koskar. So some pretty heavy weights, so it should be good. The last album I did in 2013 was a mix of standards and originals. So this is my first originals album.
All originals.
Yeah, all originals. So I've written and all the music and lyrics and arrangements myself. So
Awesome.
yeah, I don't know, I just feel like it's more me just to do my own songs. Like, I love jazz music. I love all the jazz standards, but I think just I can't really express myself properly through someone else's song. That's why I really wanted to push myself and just do my own things, do my own music.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. I mean, from what I've heard of your writing, I really enjoy it. The band is killing. Roll the tape, the digital tape, and make sure the microphones are in the right place. I'm sure it'll be really fun. So, hey, you mentioned Norma Winston. How did you come to be supporting her? Have you? I mean, I'm a big fan of hers, and you must be too.
Yeah, massive. It was actually just a coincidence in a way, because was it last February, I think? Was it that long ago? I was going down to London anyway, and I just sort of emailed her just out of the blue, just chanced it, see if I could meet up with her and get a lesson. And then she emailed back, and she was just really lovely. And I went to see her performing at a chat. She invited me around to her house. So I went round, and I was there for quite a few hours, and she was just so lovely, and she was just so generous with her knowledge and her time. And I hung out there for ages, had a cup of tea and a good chat, and then we kept in touch. And then helped her to get some gigs up in Scotland. So she did the Blue Lamp in Aberdeen, and then she did one at the Jazz Bar.
I love the Blue Lamp.
And then I've never been.
Louise, well, you will. I guess.
Really want to go.
Yeah, I'll see if I can dig out the email.
Quite far.
It is quite far, but come on. I mean, I think it's worth it there. That room, I love that room. They've got that like Blue Moon beer that you have with an orange, and like nice lights and nice vibe. Yeah, you'll get up there, I'm sure, when you do the. Like,
I know it's a good 3-hour trek from here, though.
Yeah.
So, and then she was playing up here in the February, and then the Edinburgh Jazz Festival included it in their jazz weekend. And then they got in touch with me to ask if I would support her. And it was just a coincidence. So, it was such an amazing experience. So she was playing with Kit Downs and Mike Walker. The place was rammed. They were just phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, I believe it. One thing that is really important that I try to keep in all of my compositions is the strong melody. So there are a number of my tunes that I always thought, I wonder if there could be lyrics to this. And so I remember we talked a while ago about that that Peace of Mind credits from Life I Know album, which became a favorite of a lot of people. Like you can sort of see the stats on streaming, and people liked it, you know, like more than every other track. So yeah, that led to me, you know, approaching you and saying, hey, will you put lyrics to this piece? So we are bringing to the world in the not too distant future the vocal remix. I'm not sure what the best well, it's a brand new song. It has a completely new meaning, and it's called Whispers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to say something about that?
It's really about when humans treat each other badly, especially some kind of, you know, abuse, that level. And a lot of people, they sort of take it within themselves. They feel like it's their fault, and there's the shame, and they don't want to deal with it, or they don't want to tell anyone, so they keep it inside, and they just feel like it's gone, but actually it still lives there. And it's there in the shadows sort of within you, but it keeps sort of sending you little message and whispers, like get your attention. And it's when you actually face it and address it and give it a name and get it out of you that it actually empowers you, and it's released, and it gives you all that freedom, and you get to, you know, you finally let go of it. And so it's getting it out of the shadows, and that's where your strength comes from, and sort of building on that and continuing to do that throughout your life and becoming stronger and finding your own voice, and, you know, getting to the point where you do say enough is enough. It's meant to have that sort of empowering message to it.
Yeah, I mean, life, you know, pretty much for everyone, life is not just like one shade of vanilla. There's shape to everything. So like, you know, the song is quite warm, but it also does include discord.
Yeah.
So, you know, it couldn't just be a completely positive, happy song if it's got sounds like that in.
Nice guitar.
Yeah, all that. You know, there's a lot going on there.
When you sent it over and I was sort of trying to come up with ideas for the lyrics, it does have that sort of mixture of a sort of darkness to it, but then also this sort of almost sort of positive energy in a way. There's something else going on within that darkness that can be like some kind of light, and that was sort of build on that idea. And then it kind of, you know, it comes out, it sort of starts in this sort of lower sort of energy to it, sort of but weighted, and then eventually through the song it sort of breaks out of that and comes out, and it's more of like a soaring energy. And that's sort of how the lyrics would move through the song as well.
So do we have like a rough release date now, right? Mid-September.
Yeah, 18th of September.
It will be released.
Yeah. And all your favorite streaming services.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we can immediately go on holiday with the revenue in advance that they all pay to us.
Yeah. I don't even think you could buy a packet of polos for that.
Yeah, I wonder how many streams you need for a packet of polos.
Does anyone buy polos anymore? That was what we always bought as kids.
Yeah, I've kind of moved on to Smints now. But yeah, of course, this song will posh. Well, mind you, they have spearmint. Yeah, they got spearmint polos as well. But yeah, if people want to buy it, of course, that will be they will be able to do so as well if they want to support the cause. And that will be so that will be kind of warming things up for your album release, which will be in the not too distant, maybe early next year or end of
yeah. So we're recording it towards the end of September. So I guess it will. I mean, the album will be out next year now, but hopefully we might be able to get a single out at the end of the year.
Great.
Good. I mean, this year was looking pretty good. So I had that great gig. Norma got booked for a couple of gigs at Ronnie Scott's.
Oh no, they were in May, right?
Yeah, so that didn't happen.
Oh man, I do think for performers or anyone who's trying to do that, it's harder. Like for example, my wife is still working full time basically, so you know it hasn't really impacted her that much, except that she's now working at home. Whereas, you know, I haven't done a gig in I don't know. I mean, I never counted, but it's like March the 13th or something, which is really weird. Well, it's always good to catch up with you, Louise. I hope people like both both songs, both videos, and I'm really excited about them both going out into the world. Where's the best place for people to check what's going on with you?
My Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are all Louise Dodds Jazz, so that's
Cool.
where I will be.
Great, check her out, folks. All right, well, have a good one, Lulu, and
Thank you.
See you very soon.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. I've just started recording again because Louise just told me it's her birthday and I forgot. I mean, probably not for the first time, probably not for the last time.
No, you never remembered.
Everyone wish Louise a belated birthday for today, which is yesterday. Tomorrow, today will be yesterday. So when people are watching it, it's yesterday. So happy birthday, Louise Dodds.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.